Now, as somebody who's ridden dirt bikes and mountain bikes basically my entire life, I've always kind of had that question, why are mountain bike brake pads so expensive compared to dirt bike brake pads when they're a lot smaller and they use a lot less material? And to be quite frank, I don't really know the answer to that. But what I can tell you is that if you are shopping for a good high quality set of brake pads for your mountain bike that aren't going to break the bank, MSR has you covered. You can buy a full set, so front and rear, we have sintered and resin for less than 20 bucks. I've ran these now for a long time. They perform just as good as other name brands, but at a much lower price. So if you're looking for brake pads, check out MSR. Now, if you're new to this and you're not quite sure, do you want to go with a sinter brake pad or a resin, sometimes referred to as organic? Well, I'm going to answer those questions for you right now. So let's start with a sinter brake pad. So sintered is going to be the most common brake pad that you're going to see riders using. And the way that these are made is you have metal particles that are fused together under high heat and high pressure. It's really similar to the brake pads that you have on your car or your truck. And the reasons that these are so popular is one, the durability. They just last longer than a resin brake pad. The second is they dissipate heat better. So as your brakes start to get hot, I'm sure a lot of you before have experienced brake fade. Well, a sinter brake pad is not going to fade as much when they start to heat up. And the third big benefit is they perform better in wet, muddy, sandy conditions. And so really, if you're an aggressive rider, you're looking for the most durability and you ride in those types of conditions, then the sinter brake pad's probably going to be the way to go. Now, that being said, there are a couple drawbacks. One being, they're pretty noisy sometimes. You know, as these start to get hot, and this can depend on the rotors that you have, but they can start to squeak a little bit. And I've had that happen. It's pretty annoying. So that is one of the drawbacks. And the other is, yes, they are more durable, but they can wear down your rotors a little bit faster. So when that mud, that sand, and everything gets in between the brake pads and your rotor, these can wear it down just a little bit faster. But overall, most common choice is going to be sintered. Now with the resin, or organic, as you might hear it called sometimes, what this is organic particles that are held together with the resin. Now here's why some riders might prefer a resin brake pad. So first of all is just they're grabby. Because it's a softer compound, you get a really good initial bite when you pull on your brakes. So if you're looking for really good stopping power, resin brake pad is really good for that. Also, you don't have to worry about them squeaking like a resin brake pad would, or excuse me, a sinter brake pad. So if you're just more of a casual rider, not doing really aggressive riding, then you know a resin brake pad could be really good for you. Now, a couple of the things you want to keep in mind is that being that softer material, they're not going to last as long as a sinter pad will. They're not going to perform as good in those wet, sandy, and muddy conditions, and they don't get rid of that heat as well. So if you are doing some aggressive riding and you're getting your brakes really hot, you can get brake fade faster with a resin brake pad. But again, for just casual riders who aren't doing that real aggressive stuff or riding those types of conditions that I just mentioned, a resin brake pad could be a really good option. And that's it. Those are the key differences between a sintered and a resin brake pad. So hopefully that kind of answers your questions. But hey, I want to hear your thoughts. Leave those down below. If you have questions, comments, we will get those answered. And to grab your MSR brake pads today, click on the link or just head to RockyMountainATVMC.com. And as always, we ship for free over 75 bucks. If you want to stay up to date on videos like this, get subscribed to the Rocky Mountain YouTube channel, hit the notification bell, and you'll be good to go. I am Chase, and we'll see you on the trails.